Imagine you're standing in a massive, sprawling sports bar. You're watching dozens of 4K games flawlessly synced across 100 different screens. You might think it runs on magic, or maybe some sleek supercomputer.
Right, something designed in a pristine lab somewhere.
Exactly. But today's deep dive tells a very different story. Welcome to the show. Today we're looking at an actual e-commerce product page from a vendor called HDTVSupply.
And specifically, we're dissecting a listing for a VPI 48-port Duplex LC fiber optic patch panel.
Right, which sounds incredibly dense. So our mission today is to strip away the intense industrial jargon of this $250 metal box. We want to figure out exactly what it does, why it costs what it does, and what it reveals about the hidden infrastructure powering modern AV setups.
Yeah, the contrast is really striking. I mean, when you buy consumer tech, you expect curated lifestyle branding, right?
Yeah.
But step into enterprise networking gear, and you're hit with just raw specs.
Stuff designed for people who build stadiums, not home theaters.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack this heavy-gauge steel box. It's designed to fit into standard 19-inch server racks. You can get a 12-port version taking up 1 RU, meaning 1 rack unit of height, or a 48-port version taking up 3 RU.
And the listing proudly states it comes preloaded with LC couplers for feeding Duplex LC multi-mode fiber.
Which, admittedly, sounds like a massive mouthful for anyone not working in IT.
It really does.
To me, it kind of sounds like an old-school telephone operator's switchboard, where they plugged in crossing wires to route calls to the right places.
That's actually pretty close, but unlike a switchboard using copper wires to pass electrical currents, this patch panel is routing pulses of light.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, duplex just means 2 cables working as a pair, so one sends the light, the other receives it. And multi-mode fiber uses slightly thicker glass cores to bounce multiple light beams simultaneously.
Okay, so it's moving a lot of information.
Right, it's perfect for pushing huge amounts of data over short distances, like inside a building.
So we're dealing with delicate strands of glass. Is that why this thing is built out of heavy-gauge steel?
Yeah.
To protect these fragile glass pipes.
Precisely. Fiber optics are incredibly delicate. If a glass cable bends too sharply, the signal drops, or the fiber simply snaps. And, a hot vibrating server room is a hostile environment.
Makes sense.
So this patch panel is entirely passive. It doesn't process data at all. Its only job is to ensure those glass connections stay perfectly aligned and securely anchored.
So the data flow is uninterrupted.
Exactly.
But wait, if it's just passive steel and glass, then explain this bullet point I found on the listing. It says, ships with the latest firmware. Like, where's the microchip hiding in this metal box?
Well, there isn't one. What you're seeing is basically a digital artifact of automated e-commerce.
Wait, really? Just a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, a database somewhere probably just slapped that latest firmware tag on hundreds of active electronic devices in their catalog, and it accidentally bled over onto this entirely passive piece of metal.
A ghost in the machine. That little database glitch actually forced me to look closer at the vendor itself, HDTVSupply. They've been around for 25 years. And they heavily feature these Wolfpack matrix switchers.
Right, the ones that can route video to up to 160 TVs at once.
Yeah. And this passive patch panel is TAA compliant, meaning it's officially approved for U.S. government purchasing.
Which tells you a lot about who is actually buying this equipment.
Right. But the site feels like a total kitchen sink. Like, I noticed another web design quirk. The customer reviews right there on this specific patch panels page are for entirely different products.
Like a Kramer multi-viewer, I think I saw?
Yes, and a Wolfpack HDMI matrix switch. So isn't this chaotic presentation going to scare off a buyer dropping thousands of dollars?
Not the buyers they're targeting. An IT professional wiring a military base or a colossal casino, they don't care about a polished, beautifully designed web experience.
They just want the gear to work.
Exactly. They care about pure utility. They want to know the gear is reliable, that there's a 1-year warranty, and that they can save like 5% on bulk orders by paying with a wire transfer.
So they just ignore the mismatched reviews and database typos because they already know exactly what they need.
You got it. The site functions as the ultimate no-nonsense parts bin for experts. They are hunting for exact puzzle pieces to build complex webs of infrastructure.
So what does this all mean for you? The next time you're sitting in a stadium-sized sports bar, seamlessly watching dozens of different streams at once, take a second to appreciate the back room.
Because behind the scenes, there's a meticulously organized, heavy steel 19-inch rack keeping thousands of fragile glass light beams perfectly aligned to make it all possible.
It really is this invisible, highly technical infrastructure that shapes our visible world. But it does leave you with something to ponder. If a simple piece of solid steel is automatically advertised as shipping with the latest firmware, how much of the technical specification data we rely on every single day is actual engineering fact versus just automated e-commerce noise?